probably don't need the heavy armor. I don't want to shift out of bear form to speak with dead.
Waiting. I crave blood.
What a day.
All right.
That guy shows skin. That's where we tickle Astarion, right there.
Regards you lifelessly.
Who are you?
Samuel Staxford, devoted servant of the Absolute.
Where did these undead come from?
I summoned them.
That seems to have gone very badly for you.
Fight against Githyanki. Attack to buy time for
these dead people aren't very fast at talking.
To escape with Ravengard.
Why did the Githyanki attack you?
Stumbled upon them.
Yeah, you just encountered Githyanki. That's why they attacked you.
Interrupted training while carrying out orders for General Thorm.
All right, Captain Kirk. I mean, we kind of know, but we're going to ask this anyway. Who is General Thorm?
Leader.
See if there's more context.
True souls. Chosen of the Absolute.
Okay, that actually is new news to us, because the last we knew about General Thorm was that he was the chosen paladin of Sharn. Shar. Now he's the chosen of the Absolute. Is it possible that the Absolute is Shar working with the Illithids? That would be an interesting twist. Obviously, I don't want to know the answer to that. What does the Absolute want Duke Ravengard? Probably to give him a brain worm.
The corpse remains silent.
No, where's Duke Ravengard now?
The corpse remains the spells.
All right. Well, I guess we got all the info we could literally get out of this.
So that's progress.
Oh,
what's in here?
Another set of plate armor. I was gonna say, it probably sells for a few bucks. Okay. Let's keep going down this way.
If not over, then through.
Now you want Shar to be the Absolute?
Walk in the way of dawn, for Lathander cannot protect you where the light doth not reach.
I don't know who didn't do a... didn't just do a survival check.
Can't give up now.
Something over there.
Something over there. Where? Oh, under the giant bear. Can I dig in bear form?
Light on my feet.
But the answer might be no. I got all these powerful claws. Really? Really? Someone buried an empty wooden chest?
Best be on my
Game. That's just rude. Access forbidden.
I have something to ask.
You are unable to speak.
Let's see what I can glean.
Who there, wanderer?
You look familiar.
Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
I don't remember Elminster being so blingy.
If perchance you retain among your traveling companions a man who adheres to the given name of Gale.
I wonder if I should have had Gale for this bit. I should probably drop Astarion and bring Gale. Am I confused, or is that not Gale right there on screen? That's Gale, right? As a matter of fact, I do. He's resting in a camp and not literally standing right next to me.
Ever a man of leisure. Would it pain you greatly to assist me along the little voyage I intend to undertake to this aforementioned camp?
Well, I'd like to first know who I'd be bringing to see Gale. He hasn't actually introduced himself.
Should it be the nature of our acquaintance that interests you, well, you may safely classify Gale and I as friends. Should it be the nature of your present interlocutor that
Dell
you
in Gale
desire
form.
to drag from the dark?
Do you respect Gale as a wizard? No, he's a pure wizard. He's just wearing light armor.
For illumination,
Because he's human.
Identify myself as Elminster. Elminster Ormar. Now, if this answer satisfies you, let us linger no longer in this.
This limbo of indecision, but set course for camp forthwith. Wow, this is a really glitched encounter. Okay, let's go see Gale then. Yeah. Unauthorized creature. I think there's something really wrong and weird going on here. Talk to Karlach after the Elminster dialogue is finished. You'll like it. Okay, first of all, we're going to go to camp, but I'm going to go ahead and break
alive,
bear form.
So that's progress.
Who there, wanderer? Stay thy course.
He was super glitched because he was trying to talk to the main character.
May I?
Uh-huh. I'm just going to repeat exactly the same thing that we just did.
Should it now? If this answer
He's in the camp.
ever a man,
It would be my pleasure.
and I would confirm it to be so.
There we go. There we go.
I need
All
to
right,
find a
let's
way
stay up. Let's
forward.
steal Karlach's silver spoon, as always.
Always
The mug
room for
worked.
more?
If early game, you can take the Separatude funnel as well. All right. Elminster stole loot from the buried chest. We should kill him for his loot. What happens if you attack Elminster? It says he's level 1. He's got 124 hit points. Powered evocation, focus conjuration, magic resistant, spell sniper, 22 int. The rest of his stats are kind of bad. I'm sure we could take him. Elminster reminds me somewhat of Mustrum Ridculi from the Discworld series. I've never read those. I really need to. I've got some Pratchett books. Hold on. A million years ago, a viewer sent me these 3 books. And they're always sitting there, and I still haven't read them. I always look at them and like, oh yeah, I should read this. Oh, I should read this. I used to read so much, and it's been so long since I have. Been trying to get back in the habit, though. Been reading some football strategy, soccer ball strategy books, because I've been playing some Football Manager again. Trying to get primed for FM24, and I want to get back in the habit of regularly reading books. All right, so ad break is over. Let's talk to Elminster.
My thanks. for
There's
your
Gale.
Excellent guidance. Ah, and yonder I spy the object of my pursuit.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
I don't understand. How so on my behalf?
I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale.
There can only be one she.
You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Waterdeep washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I
Clingy
gone
X.
without honest fare, worthy of the name, drank naught, but what the sky entitled my thirst.
Elune, it's inverting the pyramid.
Some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before
Things
I
that don't really make much sense. Why did it take Elminster days of, like, walking around to find us? Like, even if it wasn't Elminster, even if it was just generic high-level wizard, that's crazy. Like, why couldn't you... I mean, maybe the brain worms mean we can't be scryed, or Maybe it's because I'm thinking in terms of the godlike power that a second ed wizard would have had. Maybe in 5th ed, even a high-level wizard is way more nerfed. That's entirely possible. I don't know. This seems ridiculous. Yeah, it does flag him as level 1. Maybe he's got a brain worm too. He got reset just like Gale, just like Will. Yes, Gale, where's your decorum? I suppose we could part with fewer rations. Not in the habit of taking in vagabonds, which is patently untrue. We've been taking on vagabonds non-stop. I'm just gonna go with 2. I suppose we could part with a few of our rations.
And a great kindness.
Oh, the relic could be blocking scrying as well. That's true.
See, Gale? Even in these barren parts, the art of hospitality begets inspired new works. If only one keeps up the practice.
Oh, for the love of...
Fine, fine. I'll turn a deaf ear to the clarion calls with which my scorned stomach beseeches me. Graver matters are at hand. Plenty to digest. After
Talk
all,
first, eat after.
a good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster.
Right. You see, well, that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter. I'll speak as plainly as I can, forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mystra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
Grumpy Oldie says, I thought Elminster was a mage cleric thief chosen to Mystra. In fact, he was OG, like, everything in the novels. I believe he started as a... did he start as a fighter, then a thief? Then the cleric, where he was shape-shifted into a female, I think still human. I think he was still human female, as a cleric of Mystra, before getting reshape-shifted back, or polymorphed back, not shape-shifted, polymorphed, and ultimately becoming a wizard of Mystra in at least one of the novels of Elminster's backstory from way back in the day. He had every class, basically. You were sent here as an actual divine messenger. I'm surprised she sent you in the first place after Gale's debacle. I think I like that one. What message, what charge would that be? Speak fast. No, I'm surprised she sent you in the first place after Gale's debacle.
Thank you for that most considerate reminder.
You're welcome, Gale.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. No, we needn't dwell on that here and now. But even so, you're to be given a chance of redemption.
Mystra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness.
I like that line.
Mystra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils.
Goddess herself is aware. I wouldn't say no to some divine intervention. I mean, yeah. If even the gods know, why are we facing these threats alone? Actually, I quite like that. You wouldn't happen to know of a cure, would you? Some all-powerful parasite withering spell, perhaps? I like option 2.
They choose the instruments of their will with great precision. Sometimes the single drops we think we are do not realize what waves we are building up to be. Do not discount yourself, and by the same token, do not discount your enemy. You must know that the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction.
Did Gale just become the main character?
Mystra's belief that only you can.
I'm standing right here. Come on. Gale alone, how so? Mistra's mistaken. I will be the absolute destroyer. So this is like player character, like I am the main character thought right there. I don't think that's Dell's vibe though. I think on one of my other characters that would be their vibe, but not Dell. Hogwash, I had beliefs and false hopes, no. So I'm gonna say, Gale alone, how so?
The orb.
Precisely.
Yeah, Gale's a walking nuke.
Mistra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
What did Will do to deserve that?
This could be help or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will...
I wish I'd made my
burn it from this world.
guardian male to distinguish the voice from the narrator more clearly. Because I always have to be like... Because they do sound different, but not so different enough to me that I can tell right away. So I have to look at the subtitle to see like if it's the narrator speaking or the dream visitor who's speaking. It's monstrous. You're tasking him to kill himself. Say what you will, but you can't force Gale to go through with this. We'll be rid of both the Absolute and Gale in one fell swoop. Win-win. Win with 2. You can't force Gale to go through with this.
No, indeed. But I think she trusts me too.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mistra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the Absolute. And for your sacrifice, you
Oh, Nature Dwarf, there is an actual gate.
be redeemed.
What's that?
Such is Mistra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid.
Italion Thras Annas
It is done.
Just waiting for a cut in here to explain
Both
what Baldur's Gate
charge
is.
and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest...
Calling Gale a sheep. Yeah, I guess you never get this scene if you're going to go to Mountain Pass, or maybe he intersects you somewhere else, because it seems sort of important to the plot. You can also have Gale leave your party, which is interesting too. So the question that Nature Dwarf has is there an actual gate, or is Baldur's Gate the region of where this is set? Baldur's Gate specifically refers to a city. There's a city called Baldur's Gate, so that's what that is. And the story of it is, I think it used to have some other name, with some small village, and there was an actual person called Baldur who'd been an adventurer, did a bunch of stuff, came back, used his money to do a bunch of awesome stuff in town, and one of the town gates was then referred to as Baldur's Gate, in and out of this town, but over time, because the significance of this gate was so major, that just evolved to become the name of the city, and now the city is just known as Baldur's Gate. Same scene happens if you enter the Shadow Curse land via the Grimforge elevator. Ah, okay. Okay. You run into it somewhere regardless. I wonder what happens if you shoot Gale away at that point, because he can't leave. If you don't feed him magic items, he does bail. I just don't know if it can happen before this or what. Well, he can bail very early, because you can, like, piss him off. You can refuse to give him stuff. If you take, let's say, alternate solution to the Druid versus Goblin camp situation, that can lead to some of your party members leaving. There's a lot here. There's so many options that on a replay you find. It's crazy. Okay, on my honor shall be done. Still a long journey ahead. We'll find another way. Not a keeper. I mean, I might say this, option 2. We'll try to find another way where Gale doesn't literally have to explode himself.
Or some other fortune altogether.
Like moons make...
You have to do a run where I just kill every NPC we run into. See what that does to the game.
So too, the sky-strewn gods ordained
Failed to pull him out of the hole.
tidal fates of mortal days. And yet,
That's right.
an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, Come.
You can potentially fail to recruit
Lives
Gale
beyond
altogether,
the breadth of our dominion.
especially if you play Dark Urge.
Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
Hey, Gale.
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days.
I hate that his staff has such a low res. Like, when you look at it, where the light parts are, like, look at us. We've got these nice smooth lines over here, right? When the camera focuses on him, the light sections of the staff are like, you can see the pixels. I mean, maybe it was an explicit design choice, but it mostly looks like it's got a low res texture. Always imagine Elminster to be more imposing, an old man with a craving for cheese, hardly a great wizard legend. Now I'm thinking of Elder Scrolls. Sheogorath. He didn't seem much of a friend, showing up and demanding you kill yourself. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Actually, I was hoping to talk about something else. I'm going to go with 3. Doesn't seem like much of a friend, showing up and demanding you kill yourself.
It's not a demand he wanted to make of me.
Okay,
As the mistress chosen, he had no choice but to deliver her message. However much it pained him to do so. For Mistra to have sent him, the severity
Elminster is
of
his
her
name,
bidding
yeah.
could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me. Time seems so.
His title would
infinite
be
when you're young.
Chosen to Mystery, I suppose.
A month is
One
an
of a few.
age. A year is a lifetime. It is a strange feeling to realize how little of it one might have left.
Oh, same dude as Baldur's Gate 1? Elminster? Yeah. Elminster's like hundreds of years old. Elminster is functionally immortal as a result of his Chosen to Mystery status and things like that. And he's not the only Chosen to Mystery in the Forgotten Realms. Again, most of my knowledge of the Forgotten Realms lore is mostly from the second Ed era, because that's where I was reading a lot of the novels and things like that. And some of the Chosen to Mystery aren't even, they're not even wizards, right? I think, because there's the 7 sisters, right? And I think a couple of them are Chosen to Mystery, but like one's like a ranger, I think. I don't remember. Are you seriously considering doing what Elminster said?
Of course. He offered the clearest solution to our problem. All I have to do is find the right place and time, close my eyes, and let go. Then the slate will be clean. Wrongs will be righted, the absolute will be gone, and I along with it.
That's true. Elminster was born a prince, yeah, and his like kingdom was usurped and things like that, and that's why he grew up as like basically an orphan in the streets of some city and was a thief first, and then became a rebel fighter. And at the time, he hated magic because magic. I think the person who'd like usurped or killed his parents. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read the novels. I think was a magic user, and he was like, it's super unfair, these magic users, and I hate magic, and therefore I hate Mistra. Oh, it's not a bad little path. I don't understand. Can't Mistra just destroy the Absolute or Elminster himself? I mean, yeah, that's it. You're on a suicide mission now. You know, actually, I want to ask about this. Why can't Mistra destroy the Absolute herself, or can't Elminster do it? He's like god tier. Do you recommend the Elminster novels? I mean, it's been a long time since I read them. I enjoyed them at the time. One of the issues, who's the guy? Who's the creator of the Forgotten Realms? Gary? No, I'm going to say Gary Gygax. That's not Gary Gygax. I can't remember his name, but Elminster apparently used to be his D&D character, and then just sort of became this. He would be this, not R.A. Salvatore. Those are the Dritz books. Ed Greenwood. There you go. Ed Greenwood. So I think Elminster had been his D&D character, and so when he was writing his novels, most of the time, like the novels weren't about Elminster. Elminster was just some character that would show up from time to time, dual exposition, and then F off, right? Almost like the embodiment of a dungeon master. But then at some point there were some novels that were specifically centered on them. Apparently the Ed Greenwood novels, like the editor had to like really take a hatchet to it, because I think apparently there was like a lot of times there's like just a lot of really weird, inappropriate, like sexual stuff or something like that in it. So there's still a little bit like that gets left in here and there. That I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it hasn't aged well at all. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've read them. But I did like the lore. I did like it a lot. A lot of the novels that I read were all centered heavily on like the Dale lands, heavily involving the Zents. most of the novels I read weren't on the Sword Coast, which most of the video games are, right? Like Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, all that sort of stuff is Sword Coast stuff, and I never really read a lot of novels in there. Just a spattering of boink, yeah. Yeah, right, so right, I was gonna say 1 here.
I've no doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention
Interesting.
has a tendency to make things worse, not better.
In the current iteration, is Ao more strict about
He saved the
restricting
realm
divine
more times
intervention?
than legend can recount. To take on a god is no easy feat, even for him.
Yeah, Ao is the overgod. Ao is the thing that potentially
and
created all
only I
gods.
can wield it.
And at least in the lore that I know about, is so far removed from mortals. Like mortals, I mean, mortals can attempt to worship Ao, but Ao literally doesn't give a crap. Doesn't grant spells, doesn't do anything like